Good morning, dear students. Today we will start chapter 11, the development of medical science. In this chapter, we will learn about the invention of instruments like thermometer, stethoscope and microscope, etc. Contribution of the scientists in the field of medicine, rules of basic healthcare and hygiene. In ancient times, people used to think that diseases were caused by evil spirits. So, people used to think that if they were sick, it was because of some bhoot pret. So, to cure them, they worshipped various forces of nature as gods and goddesses. To become healthy, they used to worship different forces of nature and they believed they were gods and goddesses. Today, with the development of medical science, we have developed various methods and instruments to identify a disease. Now, we have many instruments through which we can cure a disease or we can identify, means we can know which disease it is. We are much healthier than our ancestors, means the old people, the old generation, in comparison of them, we are much healthier. We have a large number of medicines and other medical facilities to prevent diseases, because we have many kinds of medicines and many kinds of medical facilities with us. That is why we can save ourselves from diseases. Many instruments have been developed in different parts of the world to control diseases. So, there are many important instruments and we will learn about them in this chapter. First is clinical thermometer. Before the invention of this instrument, it was difficult to know the exact temperature of a patient's body. When there was no clinical thermometer, we did not know what was the temperature of a human's body. So, people used to guess only that this person has high fever or less fever. The temperature gives the exact, the thermometer gives the exact temperature of a human body in Celsius or Fahrenheit. Means with thermometer we can find out exact temperature of human body in Celsius or in Fahrenheit. The exact reading can help the doctor to prescribe the right treatment. If we have the exact reading of the temperature, so the doctor can treat according to that. If the person has high temperature, he is given medicine according to that. The thermometer is placed under the tongue or the armpit of a patient. Where do we keep the thermometer to measure the temperature of human body? Either under the tongue or under the armpit of a patient. The sensitive mercury in the glass tube moves to the marking indicating the temperature of the body. What is there in the clinical thermometer? There is mercury in this glass tube, and this mercury, if the temperature increases, it rises and it indicates the temperature of human body. The clinical thermometer was invented by Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit in 1715. The normal temperature of the human body is 98.4 degree Fahrenheit or 37 degree Celsius. It is 98.4 if we measure it in Fahrenheit, and if we measure it in Celsius, it is 37 degree. When the body temperature rises above this level, we have fever. If a person's body temperature is more than 98.4 degree Fahrenheit, then he has fever. Nowadays, both analog Analog means mercury thermometer and another one is digital thermometer. These both are used for measuring the body temperature. Next is stethoscope. The invention of stethoscope derives its inspiration from a child's play. Means, how was stethoscope invented? A doctor had noticed two children playing. Rane Lanak, a doctor, was on his way to clinic. He was going his home. He was going to his clinic. He observed two children talking to each other, holding the two ends of a log tube like a log. So, two children were playing with a hollow tube and they were holding that log, and the child was whispering and the other child could hear him loud and clear at the other end. One child was speaking and another child was listening from the another end. This gave him an idea. He rolled up a paper into a hollow tube and put it against a patient's chest. After seeing this play, he had an idea and he rolled a newspaper and he made a hollow tube of it and put it against a patient's chest. To his surprise, he clearly heard the patient's heartbeat and the movement of the patient's breathing. So, through this hollow tube, he could hear the heartbeat also and the breathing voice also of the patient. In course of time, the hollow tube came to be developed into the stethoscope we see today, and by the passage of time, this hollow tube came to be developed into a stethoscope. It enables the doctor to check the patient's heart and lungs and find out whether they are working as well as they should. So, we can know with the help of stethoscope if the patient's heart and lungs are healthy or not. Next is microscope. The word microscope is a combination of two Greek words, micros and scopos. Micros means small and scopos means watcher. So, it is a watcher of small things. What is a microscope? Microscope is a watcher of small things. The microscope is an instrument used to see tiny germs which are otherwise invisible to the eye. Next is, about 400 years ago, lenses were used to make spectacles. So, people used lenses for making spectacles, specs. In 1590, a man selling spectacles accidentally placed two lenses one in front of the other. So, by chance a person took two lenses one in front of the other this way. As he glanced through it, जैसे ही उसने उनके पीछे से देखा, so he saw a fly as big as his hand and he could see a fly enlarged as big as his hand was. This was amazing and the news spread all over the world. Galileo of Italy made a compound microscope using the idea. This idea was used by Galileo and he made a compound microscope using that idea. He combined two lenses to make a microscope. Using that idea, he combined two lenses and he made a microscope this way. With the help of the microscope, scientists were able to see microorganisms like bacteria, protozoa, etc. Today we have many powerful microscopes. The electron microscope magnifies an object millions of times. With the help of electron microscope, the things can be enlarged so big. Its use has helped in the fight against many dreadful diseases, many dangerous diseases we can fight with them, we can fight against them with the help of this microscope. Which microscope? Electron microscope. X-ray machines. Next are many other machines. So, X-ray machine makes it possible for the doctor to see inside the patient's body. With the help of X-ray, the doctor can see inside our body. It helps in finding out the diseases which cannot be detected by blood tests. That diseases which cannot be detected by blood tests can be detected through X-rays. It helps to locate fractures in the body. If some person has a fracture in the body, X-rays are used for that. X-rays were discovered by W.K. Roentgen in 1896. Besides X-ray machines, nowadays we have CT scan, ultrasound and magnetic resonance imaging. The short form of magnetic resonance imaging is MRI. These machines help the doctors to give a complete picture of the organs of our body. They can see, doctors can see the complete picture of our body from inside. ECG and EEG machines are used to monitor heart and brain respectively. ECG is used for monitoring our heart and EEG is used for monitoring a human's brain. All these machines help in surgery as well. Laser. Laser is used to perform delicate operations without cutting the diseased part of the body. Any part of the body can be treated without cutting it with the help of laser. What is laser? Light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. It is a kind of radiation and a stimulated emission of radiation is done, and through that the surgery is done. Laser is used to perform delicate operations without cutting the diseased part of the body. So, many kinds of operations like eyes operations are done with the help of laser. So, these are some machines that we have read, and in the next lecture we will learn about surgery. So, have a wonderful day, dear children.